Hi, and thanks so much for joining me today. I'm addressing 2 of the most frequently asked questions that I get. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. So the 2 questions that I get quite a bit, I think the most frequently, one is to use the Denim palette. I have been talking about wanting to use it. I know that many of you are waiting for me to use this. So finally, I'm using this to its full capacity today. I did not hold back. I really just wanted to see what this could do. And it's such a fun palette. So we're gonna apply that, as well as talk about the other question I get quite a bit. I get it on Instagram and I get it on YouTube. What am I doing for my discoloration? Because many of you have been here for years and you have seen the progression over time. And I think that's the key. It has taken quite some time, so patience is key. As always, when it comes to things like skin issues like this, especially when it's more severe, I recommend seeing your doctor first because they can help you figure out what the issue is, maybe where it came from, and then how to treat it. But in my case, it has been because of sun damage that just has crept through. So if you're my skin type 2, my skin type typically gets discoloration, just getting older. I'm 49 years old, so my skin, of course, is not going to look like it did when I was 20, but I have done some things to help improve it. So I did want to share those with you. They are over-the-counter items, things that you can just buy for the most part. There's one item that's prescription grade. I don't do any treatments in clinics or anything like that, so everything, for the most part, that I've done has been at home. And I don't use really any tools or anything, so I mostly rely on these products to help me out. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you a picture again of how my face looked. I don't remember how many years ago this was, but it was a video featuring how I covered up my discoloration. I don't have to do nearly as much anymore, just some concealer really does a good job, and then the right powder. It is very manageable at this point. I don't have to add concealer on my forehead anymore. Powder takes care of that. I probably don't need to add concealer right here. You can see my skin is actually lighter here because of the product I put here and here, so that tells me it is working. But I thought it would be very appropriate to do this video as I apply SPF. SPF is one of the things that has been the most consistent in terms of what I use to protect my skin, as well as to protect the progress that I've made. If I were to go into the sun right now with no SPF, these dark spots would come back pretty immediately. It wouldn't take very long for these to pop up. I definitely do not go outside without SPF. I even feel like I could probably go out without foundation and be okay. It's a habit for me to conceal and try and perfect, but I think it actually looks okay. So maybe one of these days I'll do a look without foundation, without concealer, I don't know. So let's go in with this Colorescience Unforgettable Protection Face Shield Flex. And this sold out quickly. And I heard different things about it. Some people really loved it. Some people say it has like a greasier kind of feel on the skin. What I've learned for this, I have combination skin, so I get oily here in the center, dry on the exterior. I can get dehydrated on the surface as well. Trying this out with different levels of moisture on the skin before application has taught me that this works best when the surface of my skin feels almost dry. So if I have too much moisturizer on underneath, this does have more of a greasier kind of finish on my skin where I feel like it doesn't dry down. But when it's like this, where I think you can hear it, it actually does really well. So we're going to go in with 2 shades because it's important that I also address my forehead here. This is a physical sunscreen, which I really like. It's also reef safe. So this is the medium shade. We're gonna go in the middle. If you haven't seen this before, it looks like this. And as you apply it, it will adapt to your skin. So I know it doesn't look like it will right now, but let's do half. And I'm pretty generous with this, and I do go on my nose because my nose needs protection as well. Usually with foundation, I avoid my nose area because I feel like you can see more texture because there's a lot of texture on the nose. But with this, I do apply it to my nose. And one thing I really liked about this is that it doesn't settle into fine lines or crevices or these areas right in front, my pores. As I wear it, it wears really well throughout the day, which actually behaves better than some foundations I've tried before, and even some concealers. So I really like that. In fact, A couple of times I've worn this during the day and then we had something to go to in the evening, and so I just applied makeup over it and it was completely fine. So I really like that too, that I don't have to redo my makeup. So throughout this, as I talk about products, I'll put images here or here because the items are scattered throughout the house, or they may be empties that I've tried before, and I might be onto a different product or a different line, same kind of product though. So starting with cleansers, I use the Peter Thomas Roth Anti-Aging Cleanser, I think that's what it's called. That one's a chemical exfoliant, which works well on most skin types according to the website, and it works fine on mine. It just does a really nice job of exfoliating. So that is one of the keys, is exfoliating but gently. Okay, so you can see half and half. So that's what that looks like. And then it says to let it wait for 1 minute to 2 minutes and it will adapt to the skin tone. So while I let it do that, I'll go ahead with this tan shade on my forehead and then I bring it around here. So I want to make sure to get this area. Normally I would just go in with a bronzer to take care of that, or like a contour or something. But in this case, I want to make sure I have sun protection everywhere. So I love the Peter Thomas Roth. That one's been a staple. For physical exfoliants, OMOROVICZA is a very nice one, more on the pricey side, but really nice, and it has some brightening properties as well. And I've used that one entirely up, so I would definitely repurchase that. Probably wait for a sale for it, but I really liked that one. Another physical exfoliant I like is the TATCHA. I think it's a rice powder. They have different levels and I like the one for sensitive skin. It's really gentle. So that would be my first step. Okay, so now you can see half and half. I think it looks really good. It looks really skin-like, and it does a little bit of perfecting, which I also like, because in fact, I won't go in with concealer with this product. I'm using the viewfinder as a mirror, that's why I'm looking over there. As for a toner, I am loving the Solution by Chantecaille. In fact, I just repurchased another one. I just have to be careful not to use too much. I think the opening on that allows more product to come out at one time than necessary. So I try to be really careful about that one, because if I'm not careful, that one goes pretty quickly. That one was explained really well as like a freeway or an expressway for all of your other brightening products. I have used the brightening toner by Good Molecules up until the Chantecaille one. So those would be my top 2 toners. I'm trying to think if I've used another toner. I couldn't think of one right away. But if I do think of something, I will list it. So I know we have sunscreen all over the face. That is why I have these 2. I want to make sure I have SPF everywhere. Actually, I was using the viewfinder as a mirror, so I don't know. Did I get everything? Okay, right here. Need to get that in there. The next category is vitamin C. So I love vitamin C products. I've actually had a long history with vitamin C. I remember, I think it was high school or college, I think I was having issues with scarring from acne. I can't remember what it was. There was something that vitamin C did at that time for me that I was really interested in. So I tried mixing my own. I don't recommend doing that, but I used a powder vitamin C. And what I learned is that it was hard to stabilize the vitamin C. So I've always known that was kind of one of the things to work around with vitamin C. But the technology has progressed since then, since mixing my own vitamin C. This, by the way, is the Colorescience Total Eye 35 SPF, and I love this for the under eye area. There are different shades in this now. This is the original shade. I wonder if I should be trying another shade, but I just use this because I have it, but it does look really light here. Let's work that in. So for vitamin C products though, I love the FERULIC by SKINCEUTICALS. I've talked to people who are in their 50s and 60s, and whenever I see they have nice skin, I will ask people, what do you do for your skin? And more often than not, they mention the FERULIC by SKINCEUTICALS. So I know that is a favorite of a lot of people. I've also used the FLORETIN or FLORETIN CF by SKINCEUTICALS, and that one addresses discoloration as well. And most recently, I've been loving the Common Air Vitamin C Serum, and they are newer to the market as of this year, but they've already gotten so many awards for their product. And what I love to do with that one is apply it in the evening. So I'm used to applying vitamin C in the morning, but this one I apply at night. It's a little bit more viscous than the other vitamin C serums that I've used, so it takes a little bit longer to soak in, but what Carrie told me, one of the founders, was to bring it down the neck, and I think maybe I was putting too much on my face. So if I bring it down my neck, it doesn't take as long to absorb. Just a little hint in case you're trying it and it's taking a little bit longer to absorb, you can take the excess down to your neck, décolleté, and that's been working really well. I really do notice with that product a marked difference in terms of the suppleness. It's much more supple in the morning, as well as my discoloration. It looks so much better in the morning after I've used it. So that is one I'm loving right now. Then, brightening serums. I've used a few brightening serums. Okay, where are we? Can't remember to do this and talk at the same time. I think I should do my brows. Hold on, let me do my brows. Oh my gosh, I think I forgot to talk about brightening. Oops. So apparently I can't do my makeup and talk at the same time. So what I wanted to say is that I've used the Clé de Peau Concentrated Brightening Serum, and I went through a few bottles of that. That's a really nice one. I wanted to test the Chantecaille Blanc Gardenia Brightening Essence, and that one is very nice too. Those are comparable. In fact, I tried them side by side for a few weeks, and they are very comparable. So either one of those. And then right now I'm testing out the Chanel LeBlanc Serum Healthy Light Creator, which is also really effective. So any one of those works really well. Okay, back to the video. I'm just gonna go with Gucci and Chantecaille as normal. Okay, I have on brows, I added just a little bit more of the medium here. I added Chantecaille, the Real Skin, Just Skin, hold on, Real Skin Plus. Real Skin Plus. I just added that on my eyelids because of the eyeshadow we're gonna go in with in a moment. I did want to show you the blush. So I have the blush bronzer, this trio, and the bronzer is the only thing I don't love just because it has shimmer in it. Yeah, but I'll use it in a pinch. I mean, I don't not use this. I don't skip using. I will use this. I will use this, but not for something I'm really paying attention to. But it does a good job of getting around the perimeter, which is a place that I know can be missed sometimes. So it's good for that, but it does have some reflective particles that I don't love in there. But I do love the blushes. So I'm not going to powder yet. I will eventually powder, because for those who don't powder, I wanted to show you what this looks like on. So this is the lighter shade, right? Yeah, this is a blush shade. You can see I've already used this quite a bit. So even though it looks light, now they say you can put this on your lips too, but I don't use this on my lips. Although this one, we'll try this on the lips just so you can see. I do like this for a bit of color correcting here. So right here, because it's peach toned, you can see that it color corrects a little bit. So I will go on here. So that's what I wanted to show you before I powder. And then I will just tap my fingers like this. So far, no brushes. That's another reason I love these, especially for vacation. Although I saw that this was also hard to get a hold of too. But I mean, this is a perfect place for SPF, because this is where the sun hits, and that's why I have those darker areas. My skin, as you saw earlier, without makeup just has that like shininess to it. I don't know why, but without powder. So that's why we get that reflection. So the next thing that I use for discoloration is some kind of spot treatment. And the one I've used probably the most in the recent past is the Good Molecules. Although I am ready to see what else there is out there. So let me know what other discoloration, like spot specific discoloration products are out there. I'd love to try them, but I did have luck with the Good Molecules. It takes a long time though. It's not gonna be, none of this is overnight. It has taken me 8 years. Like this had darkness here 8 years ago, but you have to be prepared for a potentially really slow process like me. And one of the reasons I haven't had anything like laser, because I looked into that because I thought that would be an easy solution, is because what I've been told is that there's potential for these to look worse because of my skin type. I scar easily. So that's one of the reasons I never did anything like that to help resolve these. That's why I went in this direction, something more topical. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with this color, the berry shade. And of course I do the pop of color right here. This one's really pretty. Also lots of color to this. I love that. And we're just gonna do this. These are great to take with you because you can always just reapply like that really quickly. I wanted to show you this on the lips. So this is the deeper of the shades, the berry. If you're lighter than me, the other one might work too, but I'll show you. So there's berry in case you wanted to use it on the lips as SPF. I'm gonna powder though because I look really shiny. Even though it's not that dewy, it's just, again, my skin. I'm just going in with the Chantecaille Blur Powder. Now, if you do have a really nice mineral SPF, like a mineral foundation SPF, that would be a really nice step right here. So no concealer. I could add that Clé de Peau concealer because it does have SPF 25. So we could do that, but let's not put concealer for today. Let's see how this looks in a little bit. So I'm currently using the Sunday Riley Retinol for a retinol type product, the Luna. And I like that one. It's really nice and hydrating while still providing some kind of retinol. And then tretinoin. I've used that before. I've taken a break from it. I feel like my skin gets a little bit delicate. So I do like to take a break from that every once in a while. But tretinoin, and again, that's prescription by my doctor. Okay, we're gonna go in with this because it is something I've talked about and talked about and talked about. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go in with this blue color right here and go on the eyelid. That's why I wanted to go in and prime. I have the Chantecaille Shade and Sweep brush right here. So pretty. It's a beautiful satiny finish. This is the Dior Denim palette, by the way. Ooh, so pretty. So that would be it for retinol type products. I'm trying to think if I've used anything else. That looks amazing. Okay, there's a little bit of fallout here. Interesting. Wow. Let's go in. I just think that color is so pretty though. Let's go in with the navy color, this dark blue. So some kind of retinol I've used as well. And then back to SPF. So you saw me today use these Colorescience SPF products. Now I feel like we have a lot of color here. What are we gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna take this color and kind of try and blend it. I don't know what to do now. That's a lot. Okay, let's take that goldish color and then let's kind of try and combine everything. As a very uncertain sounding voice. We'll get it to work. It always seems to work out. I love the Chantecaille SPF, the primer. That one's really nice for under makeup. It has never interfered with any foundation that I've used and provides a really nice level of SPF. Their new one, this one, the Sunscreen, I haven't really had a chance to test it out yet, but I do love that it's reef safe and it's a mineral SPF 30 for face and body. So I'm looking forward to using that one. I just don't have enough experience with it yet, but I look forward to really testing that one out. Let's take this light color underneath. I don't know if it's light, it's lighter than the other ones. And the new one that they came out with, which has brightening. So I like when I can get brightening and SPF together. So that one is a brightening and SPF formula. I've been loving that one. Wow, we're really going for it today. And then let's try the new Chanel eyeliner. If I can find it. Do I even have it with me? Let's try this. It's Vert Emeraude. Let's try that in the waterline. It's a little cooler. Okay, definitely playing with makeup today. Let's go in with this color, the greenish color. I'm just gonna take my finger and apply that right here, like in the, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Right here, like in the middle of the eyelid, towards the navy blue here that I applied earlier. This is the most fun palette I think I've ever had. I'm not sure it's gonna work out. Actually, I'm still not sure, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna add the eyeliner. Let's do an eyeliner. Let's use this Chantecaille eyeliner brush and we'll use the navy as an eyeliner. Colorescience Even Up. That is a heavy duty SPF for me. It leaves a white cast, but it also has brightening. And it's one of those things that I put on when I know I'm going to be outside and potential for the sun to actually touch my face. I don't mind that it leaves white cast. I use powders and all kinds of things on top, concealers, bronzers, whatever, to cover that up, but it's worth it to me. So I will use the Even Up for weekends or out for a walk. That's a really important one to me. And then I have this other one, the stick one that I told you leaves a really evident white cast on me. It's supposed to show that white cast so that you know where you're placing it, but then it's supposed to be sheer. It doesn't ever go sheer on me. It just is like a purpley white shade. So just know if you get this and you're my shade, it doesn't ever sheer out. But again, worth it to me to get that protection because I do go in the pool with that one. And there's, even though I have a hat and an umbrella, the reflection from the pool still gets sun on my face. And this one has done a really nice job of really making sure my face is protected from the sunlight. Okay, I'm going to add mascara and then we'll be back. Okay, wow, we are very dramatic now with the blue, but oh my gosh, such beautiful colors. Just to even play with the makeup is fun. It's funny, I think someone mentioned I get really happy when I add blush, which is true. That's probably my favorite part of makeup, I think. But it was really fun to play with this palette. Even if I'm not ever gonna wear this out, I don't know where I would wear this, but just to play with this palette is so fun. We're gonna do this, so let's go ahead and change the lip because I wanna go a little bit less pigmented, less color on the lip for this particular eye. So actually, I'm gonna remove this. I'm going to use this Chanel Laque in 62, the Rouge Allure Laque. Yeah, something more subdued since this eye is really quite a statement. I cannot forget to mention a good hat. So I love the Eric Javits hat. I'm not gonna put it on right now just because it's gonna mess up my hair and probably leave a line on my head. So when I do wear that hat, I know that I'm probably not going to take it off till the end of the day. So I will wear it inside. I'll wear it all day once I put it on. So it's UPF 50. And I really trust this one because if you look at the stitches, there's very little potential for any light to come through. So I trust the Eric Javits hats for that. They do cost more, but I use them pretty much every day I'm outside. I highly recommend those. They'll last a couple years for me. In fact, this is the second one I've had in that particular style. So let me know if you like these like play with makeup looks. Again, I probably wouldn't wear this anywhere, would I? I don't know. It would have to be a very specific place I would wear this, but I think the colors are so pretty. So let me know if you like these play with the makeup kinds of looks, because it's really fun to play with. And this is something I'll do off camera. And when I have nowhere to go, I just will sit in front of the mirror and play with makeup. So to recap the categories and items, I love a chemical exfoliant, something like Peter Thomas Roth. That one is not too harsh on my skin, but just be careful, again, sensitivity levels. Any one of these can impact my skin, so I will start backing off of any of these at any time, depending on how my skin is reacting. It is not totally predictable, so I keep a really close eye on my skin. So that's something I do. I do adjust every once in a while based on how it's behaving. And then physical exfoliants like the OMOROVICZA, TATCHA, those are great ones that I've relied on. Nice and gentle. Then vitamin C, SKINCEUTICALS, CE FERULIC, PHLORETIN, CF, and also the new Common Air product that I've been using. After that, brightening. Oh my gosh, I think I forgot to talk about brightening. Oops. Okay, for brightening, I think I just whizzed by that, didn't I? Okay, brightening, I've used Clé de Peau, Chantecaille, and also now a Chanel product. I can't remember the name of it, but I will leave all of the images here as well as the names. And I think I'll have to do that and go back and do that. Oh my gosh, I got totally sidetracked, didn't I? Oh, whoops. Okay, well, so I've been happy with those brightening serums. Spot treatment, Good Molecules has been the one I've used. Again, I'd love to know any other recommendations that you have. I'm willing to step outside of that and try something new. And then for retinol, I'm using the Sunday Riley Luna Oil. Really happy with that one right now. but I have used in the past tretinoin, which is a prescription grade product. So I did get that prescription from a doctor. And then SPF. I definitely rely on that. That's probably my number one thing is SPF. It just prevents any further discoloration from happening, as well as protect all of the progress that I've made. And always a good hat that provides UPF. And inside the labels of the Eric Javid's, it does say UPF. I'm sure there are other hats out there as well that provide UPF, but in this case, I also love the styles of Eric Javid because it looks like a really stylish hat, but also has that UPF built in. I don't know if all of the hats have that, but it does indicate on the site whether or not it does provide UPF 50+. But again, if you have discoloration and you don't know where to start, my recommendation is to go see your doctor and they can help point you in the right direction. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.